stuff down.
And she made me come up with her.
I'm sure you'll say something. So I wrote down, I became a Heit actually when I was 7 years old. I was adopted by the Heits. And I was blessed with the loving parents who loved me very much. I remember as a kid, Mom's patience in dealing with a 7-year-old that had no self-control. A loving mama. She was so loving. It was like, stop. And a firm mama who made us toe the line and mind our manners and respect. A sacrificial mama in simple things like, you know, there's 4 pieces of chicken and there's 5 of us. Okay, honey, you go ahead. She taught me that. You know, I watched her sacrifice for us. And a fair mama. When they got me, oh goodness. She was a seamstress even then, and she sewed our clothes, and she made sure we were always dressed the same because she didn't want me to feel like I was less, and she always wanted to say us to see that, you know, it was equal, the love was equal. And much of what I learned about love and discipline as far as raising children came from them and guided me with the many children I have raised at Casaville Pastor. The sense of things needing to be fair, she wove in me because we deal with so many children where life has not been fair. And that's important. She sewed all of our clothes, including Dad's. When we were, how old? Maybe 13, we said, Mom, stop. We are not twins. Nobody's gonna ever think we're twins. When we just buy clothes from the store. She knew no strangers, always talking to people. I remember being in fabric store after fabric store, pattern counter after pattern counter, waiting hours for her to talk to strangers about I have no idea what. And I learned patience, you know. I learned lots of patience as a kid. In November, she would literally disappear from our lives because that was when she would begin sewing all of our clothes so that when we got under that Christmas tree, we would have new blouses, new pants. Sometimes she didn't quite make it, so we would get the pattern and the material in the box. When the very day Dad passed away, my sister and I got to lead her to Christ. We were in church that Sunday at Calvary Chapel, Pensacola. God so used Calvary to help her navigate through being a widow. And Miss Linda Hughes in particular, that many of you know, was a constant source of calling Mom, helping Mom, telling her she could do it. You know, my mom didn't know how to pump gas. She didn't know how to balance a checkbook. So she did the checkbook. I taught her how to pump gas. And every time we passed that station, she goes, you remember when you taught me how to pump gas? Yeah, Mom. It's been torn down since then. That's how long ago it was. So then she came to know Christ, and then she still went to fabric stores. She still hung out at the pattern counter, and she still talked to people. This time she made more sense to me because she always wanted to tell them about her Dorcas sewing group and Jesus and my church. Come to my church, come to my church. And anytime, like Hemi said, there was a prayer request of strangers she didn't know, she would like take it to the Lord and take it to church and have them praying for the needs of the people. Sometimes she was kind of insisting maybe Diala can attest to that, and it came across as nagging because she so wanted people to have their hearts right with the Lord that she would come across as nagging. And, maybe some people would get turned off on that, but, it's because she wanted them to know what she knew. And she shared it with everyone that she could. She found a good thing, Mom always. She found a great deal. She found the Lord. She had Dorcas. She wanted to pass it on. And as far as the ministry in Mexico, in case you don't know, the lady that co-directs with me, Jeannie, is here. Also came for the funeral. Number one fan. She would always say, there we go again. That's my Lisa. And she has 100 children and the mothers of those children. She'd tell everybody, and then everybody would look at me and I would go, now what do I say? She'd announce it to perfect strangers in the grocery line. And I was like, Mom! I am so thankful that I had a job that allowed me to visit with her so often in the last 29 years. I'm thankful to have been with her these last 6 months. I'm thankful that the Lord saw fit to take her home to heaven where she most wanted to be. We will all miss her so very much. She makes heaven seem sweeter and closer, and I know we will all be together again soon. And then during this process, because 6 months is a long time to mourn, but people do it longer. I felt the Lord speak to my heart about heaven, where mourning will be turned to dancing, where her faith will become sight, and we'll all be together again soon. And that's been my comfort, those 3 phrases, because it's true. It's not that long. We're going to be together again. And then something else many of you have heard, it says, grief I've learned is really just love. It's all the love you want to give but cannot. All that unspent love gathers into the corners of your eyes and the lump in your throat and in the hollow part of your chest. Grief is just love with no place to go. So I'm going to cry my eyes out. Okay? I will miss the visits to see you all. You've become my family. Oh my gosh, 30 years almost. And my friends. And I can say on behalf of all of the family that we love you all so much, and we're thankful for the part you played in Mama's life. So I wrote that this morning, boohooed all over myself. I just love you guys, and I'm hoping and praying I come back and that we can continue to be family, because that's what you've become to us, even Alabama. Thank you so much. This is my sister Veronica, for those that don't know that. Oh, there's people here that don't know.
Is there anybody here that doesn't know? I wasn't going to talk, and I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories that would cause you to giggle, but I just know that the one thing that my mama would want more than anything else in the world is that if there's someone here that she was friends with, that she knew, whose life was affected by her, who doesn't know the Lord, there would be no gift greater to her than that somehow the Lord would move on your heart and you would decide, I'm going to surrender to the Lord. I don't know much about it, but she had something. Yes. And I haven't been here in Florida very much. And that's where she got saved. I mean, it was the day that our dad passed away. That we flew in and we prayed with her. She wanted what we had, and I was surprised by that. But at the same time, I knew that her grief over losing our dad was tremendous, because she relied on him for everything. And it was sweet to watch her take all of that trust and all of that dependence from him and place it right into the arms of Jesus, who never let her down once. You know, he carried her through, and he used, I believe, probably everyone in this room to do that. Morris, I think her revelation questions are answered in ways that we can't even yet understand. Praise God, she does. Anyway, I know that she loved every one of you, and I wish that I knew you all as well as my sister does. And I plan to come back. I really do hope to come back to visit. Some of you may get calls from me. The back of my car now says I make wallets. Somehow I've got to learn how to do that. Barbara?
Barbara knows how.
Okay, Barbara. I'll be calling you, Barbara. I already miss her so much, and I know you do too. So I ask that whenever you feel that sadness inside of you for missing Mama, pray for her friends who don't know Jesus, because if we all pray, they'll all come to know Jesus, hopefully. And even people that we don't know of that she's spoken with, so many. May the Lord bring them all in. Thank you guys for being so wonderful to our Mama.